go. Bring it up, baby. Let's go. Daddy on me. Daddy on me.
Yo, what is good? What is good? What is good? How is everybody doing? How is everybody doing? How is everybody feeling? Hope everybody is having a great day. It is Friday, man. So hopefully many of your guys' week is now over. You can sit back, relax, and enjoy the weekend. But to kick off the weekend, I had to bring some Reddit content. What better way to hit the new rest day, Saturday, going into tomorrow. But you already know before I start, I have to give a big shout out to everybody who's already in here. So shout out to the Nato was good. Jeff was popping 303, Pirate, D-Mag, Valerie, Hope So, or Cisco was good. Who else we got in here? Alex, Muazi, Raider. This is a dream. Hilly, Alex was good. Chris, Anthony, Omar, SVT, Pono was good. Jamal, Money, Operator, Anthony, Anti-Sir, yo, was good, Blue King. Shout out to everybody who's already in here. We got we got Valerie again. Chris was good. Big Sosa was popping. OG was good. Chronicles was popping. Raider Cortez, Carl, Ivan, Stockton in the house. That's what's up. I'm loving it right now, man. Yvonne, The Nation, LV, Brian, Chris, James. Damn, everybody's tuning in. What's good? I'm gonna just throw everybody up on the screen real quick. Boom, 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 boom. Anthony was good with everybody. But listen, let's get right into this, man. Let's get right into this because I was a little late on this. I did not know this happened. Shout out to Graf. He threw it up in our little group chat that we got going on. Listen, man, check this out. So apparently the Raiders have threw Honey Badger, Tyra Matthieu, an offer, man. Very interesting to see that the Raiders have sent this man, former Kansas City Chief, former Arizona Cardinal, former Houston Texan, an offer, man. I'm loving it. So look, you guys can call me out on it, man. When the offseason first started, I said no. I was a flat out no on the Honey Badger. But today, it's looking like the Raiders have threw the Honey Badger an offer. Now, I'm really interested. What do you guys think that number is looking like? What do you think the Raiders have offered the Honey Badger? Do you think it's a $10 million a year? What do you think? Is it more than $10 million? Is it less than $10 million? Think about it. Just last season, he was making more than $13 million. He was making more than $13 million last season. So do you think that this so-called offer that the Raiders have threw to the Honey Badger, do you think that it's more than $10 million? What are you guys thinking? Now, he's only 29 years old, just under that that 30-yard, that 30-year range where everybody likes to see and look at. But I'm very excited, man. If you're able to pair the Honey Badger with Trayvon Merrick, that is big, man. That is big for the development of Trayvon Merrick. That really is big news right there. So if the Raiders have threw him an offer, I'm very excited to see where we go from here. The news, it was earlier on in the afternoon. So I thought that if it was happening, maybe we could have got a deal done. If the Raiders are serious about this, I would love to see him come in and bring him in for a visit. See what we got going on. And I would love to really see if we could pair the Honey Badger up with Trayvon Merrick. That would be insane. 18 to 20 million a year. Wow. Let's see, bro. If we sign Tyra Matthieu, it will break the Chiefs back. I just hope he ain't using us as a bargaining chip. It's a possibility, man. So I'm very interested to see this. For people in here, this is a 2-year, $25 million deal, 15 guaranteed. That's not that bad, right? That's 12.5 a year. I definitely feel like he's worth that money. But at the same time, he's making $13 million last season. So do you think that the offer that the Raiders have made to the Honey Badger, are we saying that it's less? or more than what he was making last season, which was $13 million. In my opinion, man, I'm all for bringing him in and pairing him up with Trayvon Merrick, right? He could play in this Patrick Graham system. So if this happens, you guys, I would kind of be, I wouldn't be hurt, man, but I really, really, really do want Gilmore on this team. I really, really want Gilmore on this team. And if it means that bringing in the Honey Badger does not allow Gilmore to be on this team, well, at the end of the day, it'll suck a little bit. It'll definitely suck a little bit. But at the same time, there's no way that you can't be excited bringing in a guy of Tyra Matthews' caliber. It's amazing. It is amazing. What is our current cap space? Chester, I'm not too sure what the Raiders paid Jayon Brown, so I'm not too sure what the cap space was. I know before the move for Jayon Brown, it was sitting at anywhere between 12.6 and 16.6 million dollars. So it all depends. It all depends on how much Jayon Brown got paid. I know we brought in as well Deron Harmon later on yesterday evening. So it'd be very, very interesting to see what we're doing in terms of Jayon Brown and his contract. Shout out to Andrew. He says the Badgers clickbait. We can't afford him now. We still need an O-line to protect Carr after Carr's extension. I agree, but let me tell you this, Andrew. If DC does get that extension, get that extension, we could afford him. So this is why I'm very, very intrigued and kind of excited to see that the Raiders did make that offer, but at the same time, I really want to know what range that offer was looking like, right? So if we offered him less than $10 million a season, I feel like he'll easily reject that money. I feel like the honey badger is worth more than $10 million a year. But something that we do need to be using as a bargaining chip and remembering in the back of our heads here is that there's no state taxes in Las Vegas, right? Partially one of the biggest reasons why I believe Davante Adams came to Vegas. It was reported that the Packers paid him more money or offered him more money, but due to the state taxes, Davante Adams was going to bring home more bread coming in Las Vegas. So very, very intrigued to see. Do I think that the Honey Badger is kind of just eye candy at this point? You may not be getting all the bang for your buck at this point in his career. I'm not too sure because every single year of his career, he's kind of been not underestimated, but they always say, oh, he's small. Oh, he's limited. He can't do this. He can't do that. So for the Raiders to go out and offer him a contract, very, very intriguing here. Extremely, extremely intriguing to see that the Raiders offer him a contract. I would love to know if it was less than $10 million, if it was more than $10 million. White Tyson said that he's throwing him dub. He's giving him $20. That's funny, man. But look, nothing set in stone, but bro, if he comes to the Las Vegas Raiders, him and Trayvon Merrick will terrorize opposing offenses, man. Nobody will be able to throw over those two guys. Nobody. Absolutely nobody. Not one team will be able to confidently go into a game thinking that they'll be able to take the top off on this defense. Nobody. Nobody at all. So, like I said, man, I'm going to keep saying it. To see that the Raiders have shot him an offer, whether it was to Honey Badger himself, whether it was to his agent, very, very interesting to see that we brought that to Honey Badger's attention. Like, look, we know you were in our division. We know that you know the Chiefs. We'd love to bring you in, not just because you know those things, but because you're a great football player. Very, very, very interesting to see that, man. And ultimately, I'm excited. But at the same time, we quote unquote offered Stefan Gilmore an offer a couple weeks ago, and it's been really, really quiet. Now, with the Chiefs trading away Tyreek Hill, they could have the money to bring in a guy like Gilmore or maybe even bring back a Tyran Matthieu. I don't think the Chiefs would bring back Tyran Matthieu. They already kind of brought in the guy that they feel like will fill his shoes in Justin Reed. But at the same time, if the Honey Badger stays in the AFC West, and this time it's not with the Chiefs and it's now with the Raiders, like I said, man, him and Trayvon Merrick, Brad, you said it perfectly, man. It'll be Reynolds Wraps. Simple as that, bro. No team in this entire league, maybe Miami, because they got Jalen Waddle and Tyreek Hill. But no team in this entire league would be able to confidently go into a game up against this defense thinking, you know what, we got a chance to take the top off on Trayvon Merrick and the Honey Badger, right? And like I said, you guys, I'm calling myself out on it. I was a big person that was against bringing him in, but at the same time, coming to my senses, seeing that the Raiders today have possibly, or it looks like they did shoot him an offer, man. It's very interesting. It is very interesting, man. So I'm super excited about that front. I would love to see the Honey Badger in the silver and black, but at the end of the day, I just mentioned it. We supposedly shot off an offer for Gilmore a couple weeks ago or a couple days ago, and it's been pretty quiet. I'm not too sure if a guy like Honey Badger and a guy like Gilmore are kind of just trying to weigh out their options at this point. I'm sure they have interest from other teams, but if we can go out and get Honey Badger, great. But still, you guys, I am all in on Gilmore. I am all for Stefan Gilmore coming in and being a Las Vegas Raider. I know at this point, with seeing more news come up about Tyran Matthieu clicked in with the Raiders, I know some people's views may have changed, but I would definitely like the fact that the Raiders could possibly be bringing in the Honey Badger, one of the best at the position that he plays. And I mean, shoot, Lonnie, if he's trying to get that bag, he can walk. He can walk, man. So maybe that's why he's still out on the market. I said this, I think last week on Monday. Why is a person of Honey Badger's caliber still out on the market? I believe he may be trying to get that bread. I think so, Lonnie. But this is why I'm interested. Do the Raiders had to have done their due diligence? They had to have taken either from a different source or from his agent what their asking price is. So they definitely didn't completely lowball Honey Badger, but I'm sure that they definitely didn't overpay him. We haven't overpaid for one guy here, right? So they're not going to offer a contract that's going to be overpaying for the Honey Badger, but at the same time, I'm not too sure if we completely lowballed him. So who knows? Who knows, Lonnie? But if the Raiders are going out and really are interested in bringing in the Honey Badger by offering him a deal today, it's very interesting to see in these next 24 hours what the Raiders can do. And exactly, street life. Shit, Tay was a rumor, right? But guess what happened with the rumor? Devontae Adams is now a Las Vegas Raider. So we'll see. We'll see. We'll definitely see. If he wants a bag, he's got to earn it. Brad, I got a question. Do we think that at this point in Honey Badger's career, after seeing the pay that Marcus May got, that Marcus Williams got, that Quandre Diggs got, are we saying that the Honey Badger is or is not worth $10 million a year? What are we thinking here? I believe we shot them both a decent contract, but they want bread. I understand that. I understand that, but to see the fact that we went out and offered him a contract, though, it shows that we're simple, like we're in on this. We are in on this. So I'm very intrigued by this. I am very intrigued. And shout out to Andrew. He says, please follow with who will protect Carr after a $200 million 5-year extension. Let's exclude draft picks. Carr is about to get bread. We still need DBs, linebackers, offensive line. We need a lot of stuff. You're right, Andrew. This is kind of why I'm more inclined towards picking up Stefan Gilmore. I think that Stefan Gilmore's money is probably closer to the range from $9 to $12 million. I think that that's probably the range that Tyra Matthews starts at, right? I think that Tyra Matthew may start at that $12 million range. I think that I would definitely go out and get Gilmore for a max of $12 million. But you're right, Andrew. We still need a nose tackle. We still need probably, I believe that the linebackers, we can fill those in with the amount of linebackers that are in this year's draft. But I agree, a defensive back. We still need another safety. We still need another safety. We aren't too sold on what we have on the O line. So I definitely agree. I think as of today, even though we've shot an offer to strong safety Tyra Matthieu, even though we've shot an offer to Stefan Gilmore, there is bigger needs at this day, at this time. That I feel like we need to fulfill. In my opinion, the biggest need on this team right now is a nose tackle. We are transitioning into a 3-4 base. I understand that we are going to be in the nickel 60 or 70% of the time, but when you're playing this game, you're going to come across teams like the Indianapolis Colts, like the Cleveland Browns, that run the ball extremely well and with a high volume of runs. So you want to go out and be able to be comfortable in a formation that has an extra set of linebackers, right? So you want to be able to do that, and you need a secure, true number one nose tackle, and we are lacking that. We do not have a true nose on this roster. So I agree with all the people in here that are mentioning, listen, let's not grab Tyra Matthieu. Let's go get some offensive line. Let's go get some defensive line. I 100% agree with you guys. I 100% agree with you guys. I think that Tyrann Mathieu is kind of icing on the cake on the offseason, but at the same time, if you go out and you get Tyrann, are you like, are you just not thinking of a nose tackle? Are you not thinking of an offensive lineman? Like, we can't just do that. We can't just do that, right? Andy, a nose tackle is not going to cost much. Listen, OG Fate, I kind of disagree with that one, right? If you're spending, let's say that Tyrann Mathieu, the offer that the Raiders gave him is just $10 million, right? And we're just going to say that we're going to have to throw $10 million to Tyrann Mathieu. And at that point, I feel like if the Raiders get him for $10 million, then that's an absolute steal. That's an absolute steal. But what I will say is that a guy like Eddie Goldman, a guy like Linval Joseph, those guys, Linval Joseph, for just his resume alone, can demand $7 million and he'll get it. And he'll get it. A guy like Eddie Goldman is so young that if you go out and you put $10 million towards the Honey Badger, you're kind of forfeiting a strong nose tackle, which I think is extremely vital to what this team wants to do when we are in the 3-4. Don't get me wrong, though. Is Tyrann Mathieu an upgrade to every single safety outside of Merrick on this roster? Absolutely. Absolutely. But shots of space for rent. He says Sanjeet did a video today where an NFL insider said that the Raiders reached out to the Honey Badger. The Steelers have also reached out to him as well. Listen, the simple fact of the matter is, right? You go out and you bring a guy like Honey Badger and you're getting a playmaker. You're getting a guy that knows every single play that any single offense has ever been able to run. He's a guy that can make something out of nothing. He's a guy that can add extreme versatility to this team. He's a guy that can come down into the box if needed. I understand that his size doesn't really show that. It doesn't really show that, but at the same time, he plays bigger than what he is. So for Quentin Hood in the chat to say, is a star still available? Yes, the Honey Badger is a star. So for the Raiders to go out and throw down an offer on the table for yet another star shows that they want to build something here. Shows that they want to build something here. I'm very excited to see that we did that, but at the same time, I don't want to go ahead and forfeit a nose tackle. I don't want to forfeit possibly an offensive guard. I don't want to forfeit our chances at Calais Campbell, right? I don't want to forfeit those chances. Or even, I feel like if you're getting the Honey Badger, I think that it immediately closes the door on Stefan Gilmore. So for me personally, I'm a bigger fan of going out and paying money towards a cornerback than I am to paying that same money towards a safety. Definitely that's where I stand on this. I love Honey Badger's play, but I would love to go out and get a cornerback that can isolate himself on an island. He demands respect, right? You're not going to go out and you're going to see Stefan Gilmore one-on-one and you're going to be like, oh, I'm going to test Stefan Gilmore. You're not going to do that. And I understand you're not going to do the same thing to the Honey Badger, but the Honey Badger plays 15 yards off, where Stefan Gilmore is going to be lined up in press man, right? So he's going to be there from the second the ball is snapped. So I definitely feel like going out and getting Gilmore and maybe putting the money towards Gilmore is a little bit smarter. But who knows? Who knows? Maybe the reason why we offered Tyran Matthieu today is because maybe Stefan Gilmore did not want the money that we offered him a couple days ago. Not a star. I'm talking defensive tackle star. What do you mean? Defensive tackle star. Is there a defensive tackle star in the market? No, I don't think so. I think that you have a guy in Eddie Goldman who's on the market that is a starter. He's not a star. I feel like, you have Linval Joseph, who is a former star at the defensive tackle position, but with age, it just continuously just declines a bit. But even with he's talking about, I'm not too sure. I'm not too sure if Star Ludatelli Lutalele, I don't know. I don't know if he's still available. I really don't know. I really don't know. Tyra Matthews' agent says that they were waiting for the draft to get a big contract from a needy team. Well, that would be smart, right? That would definitely be smart. Um, you know, we saw Richard Sherman do the same thing last year, right? He wanted to wait until after the draft to see where teams are with their cornerback needs and where they'll be with their cornerback play. So we'll see. We'll see. But at the same time, we'll with us offering, right, it shows that we are in that market. It shows that we are in that market. AJ, Matt Ioannidis, the same day he was released, he signed with the Carolina Panthers. He signed with the Carolina Panthers. So there's that. Jonathan Hankins. Jonathan Hankins has never played in the 3-4, so he doesn't necessarily fit this new mold that we're trying to build. He can definitely come back though and play a good role piece for this defense though. He can definitely do that. We have to build and protect Carr's blind side. I agree. But at the same time, Carr's blind side is already protected with Colton Miller. We need to protect the side that he can see where Brendan Parker played last year. Noah Ellis, we're drafting Noah Ellis at nose tackle. 541. Where do you think that Noah Ellis will get drafted? Where do you think that he'll get drafted? Brother, I just wanted to say, man, you've grown so much from day one, more professional, and with it today. Love your content. Keep it up. Appreciate you, man. Appreciate you, Johnny. Means a lot, brother. Do you think Leal is possible in the third round? Absolutely not. I'm pretty sure you're talking about DeMarvin Leal. No, no. I'm 100% with you on that, JT. I would love for the Raiders to go out and put this money towards Eddie Goldman and Stefan Gilmore. But one thing I do want to mention, you guys, today, out to Graf, he kind of put it up there for a lot of people to see. But we kind of let's see. Hold on, Andrew. Shout out to Andrew. He says, seriously, who is starting on our O-line this year? As of today, in my opinion, the best possible offensive line group as of now would be Colton Miller on the left side, Denzel Good on the left guard, Andre James at center, Alex Leatherwood at right guard, and Jermaine Illuminar at right tackles. So that's what I feel like as of today would be the best starting offensive line that we could put on the field. But I'm not too sure. I would definitely like us to go out and maybe go out and get another guy that's possibly with a little bit more upside. I would like that, but at the same time, I'm just not too sure if that's possible. I'm not too sure if that's possible, right? We saw all these offensive linemen go off the board. Just 2 days ago, we saw Billy Turner sign a contract with the Broncos. So it's tough, but Andrew, I definitely feel like the best offensive line that we could put out there on the field is Colton Miller, Denzel Good, Andre James, Alex Leatherwood, and Jermaine Illuminar. I think that would be the best possible offensive line that the Raiders can put out on display for week one. I think that would be the best option there. But I want to go ahead and read off what Gerald McCoy mentioned on his Twitter today. Now, somebody had mentioned to Gerald McCoy, what's the plan? And he goes, he says, I'm still here. Trust me, I ain't going nowhere. And many people can be like, oh, well, he was saying that, just in general, right? But the person that asked Gerald McCoy what he's doing, he added Gerald McCoy, and he also mentioned the Raiders. So Gerald McCoy, he's been very, very in tune with everything we've been doing, right? He's been very, very active on every move that the Raiders have made. Another player that I feel like is on this roster that is probably pounding the table for Gerald McCoy is Max Crosby. Max Crosby always speaks highly of Gerald McCoy every single chance he gets. So for Gerald McCoy to kind of mention that, maybe possibly hint at a return with the Las Vegas Raiders, definitely interesting, right? Because we know that when Gerald McCoy is out there playing football, he's a good football player. But that's been the problem the last 2 years. When, right? Because he's been on the field very, very, very sporadically. He gets injured week 1. He gets injured mid-season. This year, he got injured in the Raiders season opener against the Baltimore Ravens, and it was a season-ending injury. So for Gerald McCoy to possibly be hinting at a Raiders return at defensive tackle, it would be good depth. It'll be depth. It would be very good depth, and he's a guy that could be a teacher to all the defensive tackles that we bring in. But as far as bringing him in and hoping that he starts, I'm not with that. But if he wants to come in, be that role player, be that teacher on and off the field, be a guy that can go in and play a few snaps here and there, I'm for it. But I'm definitely interested to see that he hinted at a possible Raiders return today. Shout out to Andrew again. He says, didn't we get that cat from the Bears to play DT? Yes, we signed Bilal Nichols to play defensive tackle, and he's a guy that played 3-4 defensive end, with the Chicago Bears. So he's a guy that will fit very well to what we're trying to do here with Patrick Graham. He's another guy that can play, 3 technique on the defensive tackle position when we're here. But at the same time, Andrew, what I really want the Raiders to do is go out and get his partner in crime, Eddie Goldman, another Chicago defensive lineman. Chicago has not brought him back. And at the end of the day, if you look at one of the main pieces in our front office, Champ Kelly, he has a lot of ties to what we have in Chicago, right? Champ Kelly, we brought in Bilal Nichols from Chicago. That's where Champ Kelly came from. Hopefully that with Champ Kelly being the best nose tackle available on the market, in my opinion, I hope that Champ Kelly can kind of get some stuff going on over there and possibly bring in a guy like Eddie Goldman. I would love for that. Let's see. Trevino loves the nation. He does. He definitely does. Get on the Andy was good with you, Digital Press. Shout out to Press is in the building. Was good, Sultan. Shout out to Sultan, Mirror Man, and Wasted Talent. Sultan reached a freaking milestone today. So everybody in the chat, give a big congrats to Sultan Mir. He hit that 1,000 milestone on the subscribers. Big things coming for Sultan Mir. Shout out to you, my man. But another thing I want to talk about, kind of transitioning on from Gerald McCoy, is nothing really big, right? Nothing really big, but the Raiders did not go ahead and re-sign Keyshawn Nixon. Keyshawn Nixon is a guy that we picked up as a UDFA from South Carolina, I believe. South Carolina. So Keyshawn Nixon was a pretty okay depth piece last year for the Raiders at the cornerback position. He made some appearances in the slot. He is now taking his talents to Green Bay. So Keyshawn Nixon, man, once a Raider, always a Raider. I'm happy that you were able to find a new home. I know that the Raiders probably weren't too interested in your services, right? Because we have a whole new regime. But he found a new home in Green Bay. So Keyshawn Nixon, moving on. It is what it is, but we'll see. Let's see. Been working on back, bro. I'm gonna be a Raider YouTube channel soon. Shout out to you guys. Shout out to you, Moody. It's a lot of work. Put in that work and you will find success, man. You will find success. Yes, congrats to Sultan. Shout out to everybody in here congratulating Sultan Mir. I love that right there. But with all that being said, right? We touched up on Tyran Matthieu's situation. We talked about Gerald McCoy's maybe cryptic tweet. Yes, digital press. Keyshawn Nixon got signed. Shout out to EC. He says Bisaccia wanted him to be a gunner. It is what it is. It is what it is. If Bisaccia said, "Listen, Keyshawn, I want you to be a part of my special teams group," he went on. He went to Green Bay. He reunited with Coach Bisaccia. I believe he's also good friends with Rasul Douglas, who just got an extension over there in Green Bay. So Keyshawn Nixon, man, K9, he's off to Green Bay. He's found a new home. Shout out to him. But we'll see. We'll see. Shout out whose car's backup. That's another thing to talk about, Raider Mike, right? So we saw Trevor Simeon, who came into to the Las Vegas Raiders facility for a visit, and he actually left without a deal. And the same day, the Chicago Bears went out and signed Trevor Simeon, who came in for a visit on a 2-year deal. So as of today, we do not know. We do not know. We do not know who DC's main backup will be as of today. We only know that what's his name? Gilbert or something like that came in and signed for the Raiders. He's more like a number 3. He's more like a number 3, but we'll see. As of today, though, we don't have a clear-cut number 2. Shout out to Andrew again. He says, I appreciate your insight and I love the channel, Andy. Keep killing it, bro. I will stop skipping the line tonight. Oh, just win, baby. Appreciate you, Andrew. Let's see, Ryan Fitzpatrick. I would love to bring in Ryan Fitzpatrick. Great player and punt team gunner. Yes, yes. Garrett Gilbert. Yep. Tim Tebow backup. No to Fitzmagic. Hey man, it'll be very very interesting. Let's see. What's not clickbait? What happened? But yeah, we went over the Trevor Simeon thing, right? He went out, he got a contract. In EC, that's true. Fitz is probably too pricey. I think Gabbert is the best option at this point. Well, this is the thing, and this is kind of concerning when the Browns went out and got Jacoby Brissett. When you're thinking of a number 2, right? Clearly, he's not good enough to be a starter in the NFL. But you don't want the drop off between your number 1 and number 2 be like extremely, like, you don't want the margin there to be very very large, because you want your number 2, if need be, to go out and win you football games, right? So EC, I do agree his price is probably a little too high, but at the end of the day, and we know firsthand that if Fitzmagic has to come in, he can win you football games, right? That's kind of why I was intrigued to maybe bringing in a guy like Jacoby Brissett. He almost beat us last season. Jacoby Brissett's a guy that can win football games. Mariota's a guy that could win football games. So you want your backup quarterback. Yes, you're going to have to pay for him, but you still want a guy to be able to go out and win games. Andy Dalton. I wouldn't mind to bring in Andy Dalton at all to be the backup for Derek Carr. I think that'd be a phenomenal backup. But I think that Andy Dalton may be even higher than Fitzpatrick. It says offered. Yeah, we offered the man a contract. we know that the man got offered a deal. Dalton, yeah, I would love to bring in Andy Dalton. Was good. Andy was good. Team Raider was popping. Let's see. I wanted them to sign Trubisky. Little did I know he was going to have a market. Yeah, EC. I did not think that Mitchell Trubisky was going to have a market, let alone a market that would allow him to start. So we'll see. We'll see. Cam Newton. A lot of you guys kill me each time I say this, man, but Cam Newton is a guy that can come in. He already knows the scheme. He's worked with McDaniels for the last 2 years. I would love it. I would absolutely love it. Let's see. Probably too much noise now. Yeah. Yeah. Dalton would be huge for backup. He would. He would. Andy Dalton's a good backup. He's a good backup. He's a guy that started the majority of his career. He was a starter. So there's that. Kaepernick. I mean, look, if Kaepernick would love to come in and be a backup, I don't see why not. I don't see why not. So is Matthieu coming or what? Listen, bro. As of right now, we know that the Raiders have offered, and that's about it. That's about it. So we're talking about the offer. We've had our conversations about the offer. We talked about it for about the first half hour of the show. But what I will say about this whole offer situation, I would definitely love to put that money towards Gilmore and towards a nose tackle. I really, really do think that the Raiders need a true nose tackle. I think we all know that. But at the end of the day, I think that with us picking up Chandler Jones and Devontae Adams, I feel like as fans, we may be sweeping under the rug our other needs. And we have more needs. We have more needs. And ultimately, you know, you bring in Eddie Goldman, that fulfills a big need, right? So I would love to bring in Eddie Goldman to play that nose tackle position. I definitely feel like if you can go out and get a guard in the draft, right? I really, really like what we have going on, possibly with a couple options in the draft. So we'll see. We'll see. What's up, Andy? In this with this new regime, they're undercover. You don't know what's going on to happen next. With that said, what do you think will be our next move? Hopefully, our next move is with one of the two things that I said. Going out and possibly getting a nose tackle, maybe getting another corner, maybe getting an offensive lineman. But I really, really feel like as of today, though, with all these big moves that the Raiders have made, I'm really, really kind of worried. Like, okay, well, we made these big moves, we made some noise, but now we need to go out and get other positions that are pretty big needs, right? We need a defensive tackle. We do. Now, in my opinion, I feel like the best defensive tackle that's still available, there's two. There's Linval Joseph, there's Brandon Williams, so there's three. There's Linval Joseph, Brandon Williams, and Eddie Goldman. Linval Joseph is a guy that, he can eat up the middle very, very well. He can also get to the quarterback every now and again. So Linval Joseph, seasoned veteran, has a lot of experience in this league, has a lot of good football left, right? He played a lot of good football last year. Brandon Williams is a guy that played very, very good for Baltimore for the last 3 years. And Eddie Goldman is kind of a guy that's just been steadily going up. So very, very interested to see what we have at those options. But I definitely feel like we need to get those checked up, locked in, and we need to make sure that we don't go into the draft needing an offensive guard, needing a defensive tackle. We want to get these guys, and we want to go into the draft being able to draft the best player available, right? Because we don't have a first or second round pick. So you want to be able to go into that third round, that fourth round, those two back-to-back fifth round picks with just being able to go out and getting needs. I mean, not needs, best player available. So that's what we need to do. Is Campbell still out there? He is. He is. Just now tuning in late at work. Are we getting Honey Badger? Any noise on Gilmore? Also heard post June the Raiders get 20 million. Yes. So we have a lot of money waiting for us post June. We got just under $20 million just in there in our pockets post June, right? Because we cut Corey Littleton and we cut Carl Nassib. Those two guys were designated post-June releases, meaning that it saves us a lot of money. Now, with the Honey Badger, as of today, all that we know is that the Raiders might possibly have sent him off an offer. We mentioned this in the beginning of the show, right? Do we think that the offer included more than $10 million a year? Do we think that the Raiders completely lowballed him and sent him an offer less than $10 million a year? But at the end of the day, I feel like the biggest part of all this is that the Raiders are reaching out to the Honey Badger for his services and possibly bringing him in to be a Las Vegas Raider. That is huge in my opinion. As far as any noise on Gilmore, the only thing we know is that the Kansas City Chiefs now have enough bread to bring him in, and they may now be on the market for Stefan Gilmore. But yes, you are completely correct. Post June, the Raiders have a lot of money to work with. A lot of money to work with. Shout out to I Am the Bay. He says thoughts on a return specialist we can draft. Actually, I feel like we got ourselves a return specialist. That's what I feel like. We have Amir Abdullah. He's a return specialist, and when I say specialist, I mean, he is a specialist. This man is a guy that's going out every season, averaging over 25 yards per return. In my opinion, that is a specialist at the position. We also brought in Darius Phillips early on in this offseason, and he's a guy that plays corner but is also a return guy. Now, when you look at Darius Phillips, I do believe that he has an injury. I believe it's a shoulder injury, so we don't know how much Darius Phillips can return, but Amir Abdullah can definitely return the football. And with the healthy Kenyon Drake, you have another guy that can return the football, right? So we'll definitely be looking into that. I don't think that we should go into the draft trying to look for a return specialist, but I'm the Bay. I think that we got one already. I definitely think we got one already. We only have $7 million in cap space right now. I think they're working on Carr's extension so it can free up some more cap space. If so, maybe that's why the deal got sent off, right? Maybe the contract is closer than what we think. So I don't know. That's probably accurate, Raider Nation. That's probably accurate that we are closer to around just $7 or $8 million right now, due to the fact that we just signed, Deron Harmon and Jayon Brown. But I think that we possibly may be able to have a little bit more, because of how well Dave Ziegler has been structuring these contracts, right? Giving a lot of money to the signees at at as a signing bonus, right? So when you give these guys more money as a signing bonus, it then allows you to still pay them that average that they're getting, but at the same time, it allows the cap hit to be much lower. So we'll see. We'll definitely see. Exactly. No big names are going to be signed until the car extension gets done. I agree. I definitely feel like what we have going on is we want to lock down our quarterback, right? We lock down our receiver. We want to lock down our quarterback. We brought in Chandler Jones. We brought in Devontae Adams. We extended Max Crosby. And I always mentioned this before, right? Whether you extend Derek Carr or you extend Hunter Renfrow, it moves the needle along for both of them. Definitely them. It moves along, moves the needle along for both guys, right? If you extend Derek Carr, I feel like it makes Hunter Renfrow like almost want to sign any deal you put in front of him. If you extend Renfrow, it kind of does the same thing for Derek Carr, just because of how great of a foundation they've built together. So, when we're talking about a DC extension, we also have to remember, Rocky Sin is eligible for extension. This is his last year of his rookie contract, right? We traded away Yannick Ngakoue, who was on the last year of his deal, for a cornerback that was on the last year of his as well. So we got Rocky Sin fairly cheap due to the fact that he's still on his second round rookie contract. But Rocky Sin is eligible for an extension. Trayvon Mullen is eligible for an extension. We have to remember we only signed Anthony Everett on a 1-year deal. So there's a lot of factors that are in place. And I do think a lot of those factors rely on when and how much Derek Carr gets extended for. That's what I think. Shots of pacing. He says, no matter where the Pats drafted all offensive linemen, I've seen them have a bad one. Don't you think they can coach up Simpson, James, and Leatherwood? I think that James is a guy that started to develop at a pretty high rate at the back end of the season. John Simpson is a guy who he has a very, very good skill set to be successful in a very high powered run heavy scheme. Now, if you would have asked me, can John Simpson excel with the Browns, Baltimore, or Indianapolis? I would have said yes. I would have definitely said yes. But with John Simpson, I don't know if John Simpson will be able to be coached up to the level that we've seen Carmen Brasillo coach up other guys. And the reason why I say that is because what Josh McDaniel's system demands is a guy that is fluid in space. We want to run a lot of screens. Is a guy that can, you know, block when we're doing our play action. Is a guy that demands high strength, which is why I think that he could be very, very good in a heavy run scheme, right? Because John Simpson has that strength. He's a good run blocker, but where I feel like Simpson really lacks in is the pass protection. So the reason why I said that Denzel Good will probably start at left guard day one is because overall I think that Denzel Good is just a better offensive lineman than John Simpson is at his career. But I do understand that John Simpson is younger. He is your youth. He can possibly be the future of that guard position if coached up good, right? So I would love to see it from Simpson. Personally, I just don't see it. In terms of Andre James, I think that he's a guy that he's pretty much the opposite. He's very good in pass protection. He's a guy that kind of learned how to run block in a you know he was able to learn some better technique when it came to run blocking, right? He got his pad level much lower. I went back and I turned on the Indianapolis film when I was watching the tape of Rocky Sin. I saw a lot of great plays from Andre James in the run game. So Andre James is a guy, like I said, his development came on pretty well at the last bit of the last stretch of the season. In terms of Alex Leatherwood, there's no reason why Carmen Brasillo wouldn't be able to turn Alex Leatherwood into a monster. Alex Leatherwood is a guy came in. He's already known for his great run blocking. He's a guy that just needs to be polished up and he needs to be put at a position where he'll stay there long term. In his career in college, he went from left tackle to right guard to right tackle. So he switches along a lot. He switches position a lot. But Alex Leatherwood, I think that there's no reason why Carmen Brasillo wouldn't be able to mold Alex Leatherwood into a phenomenal right guard. The frame is there, the strength is there, the footwork is there. Alex Leatherwood has phenomenal footwork. But overall, I feel like the biggest thing with Alex Leatherwood is just technique. That's it. That's it. Um, there's a cap trick with the reserve future contracts. Basically, you sign them at 660K, waive them after the draft, and you can re-sign for camp at 200,000, 10 guys at 400K, saving $4 million in cap space. This is why EC is one of my favorite people in the world. Because not many people know this. Not many people understand that. Not many people look that far into contracts and the X's and O's of these deals, right? We kind of just want to bring in guys and have them play. But ultimately, $4 million in cap space that's pretty big, right? Like $4 million in cap space is Denzel good or not Denzel good. Like that's a lot of money to save up. So shout out to EC for putting this up there. But really quick, shout out to Spider D. He says, love the show. Great job. Keep up the great work. For a young man, your football knowledge is like, whoa. Appreciate you, Spider. Appreciate you, my man. Let's see. Leatherwood gonna play guard? I mean, Leatherwood has to play guard. I don't see why Leatherwood wouldn't play guard. Leatherwood is a guy that he like I said, he switched positions so many times to where I feel like at this point Leatherwood just kind of needs to find a home. And at the end of the day, do they switch him back to right tackle? I don't think so. I don't want them to. I just kind of want him to stick to one position and let him learn and get better at one position. So who knows? Who knows? Andy, do you think they will move Hobbs to the outside or keep him in the slot? Kind of, kind of similar to Leatherwood, right? But why move a guy who is Nate Hobbs is completely different, actually. Why move Hobbs, who is excelling at the position that he is, to another position? There's no reason to do that at all. At all. Like, there's no reason for the Raiders to move Nate Hobbs to the outside corner. In the preseason, he had a couple looks at outside corner, and it went pretty well for him. But when we're looking at Nate Hobbs, we're looking at the future of the Raiders in the slot corner position. So I'm not sure if you ask me the same question, am I seeing Nate Hobbs at the future of the Raiders at the outside corner position? It's a lot different. It's a different ball game. Nate Hobbs, something that we have to remember is that him playing in the slot, you guys, in my opinion, makes up for a lot of poor run fits by our safeties. Last year, we had Dallin Levitt playing strong safety. We had, who else did we have playing strong safety at times? We had Roderick Teamer at times playing safety, but Nate Hobbs is such a good slot corner, and he knows how to utilize his body in the run game to the point where he is a very good run defender. Nate Hobbs is not just a good slot corner. He's not just good at covering receivers, but Nate Hobbs is not a liability in the run game. Nate Hobbs is a damn good slot corner, especially when you try to run to his side. He is not having that. He's not having that. Wow, Hobbs not inside no more. What wrong with your rate? Nah, Hobbs is definitely going to be inside. Hobbs is definitely going to be inside. It's just a question that's brought up by people that, they see a need on the outside and they see a good talent like Nate Hobbs. They may, okay, well, let's move him to the outside. No, it's not that easy. And I think that there's no reason to move Nate Hobbs, like at all. At all. I don't like Brandon Parker. Me neither. Me neither. I hate Brandon Parker's play. I think that the best that you'll ever get out of Brandon Parker is the left tackle position. Like left tackle, that's his natural spot. He doesn't look bad at left tackle. But anywhere else on the offensive line, Brandon Parker looks horrible. Like his technique is not built for a right tackle. He is not a good right tackle. He doesn't understand the leverage game when it comes to right tackle. It just doesn't make sense for him. Now, when you put him on the left side, his technique is refined. He doesn't look like the same Brandon Parker as you put him on the right side. But Brandon Parker, man, I was kind of shocked on bringing him back. I did not think that was going to happen. I definitely thought that Jermaine Alumro was going to find his way back on this roster, but I just I was definitely shocked. Any updates on Tyra Matthieu or Stefan Gilmore? In terms of Tyron Matthieu, like I said, we mentioned this earlier on in the show. For about the first half hour, we mentioned Tyron Matthieu, right? Because it's been reported today that the Raiders have thrown Tyron Matthieu an offer. So, with that being said, the Raiders do see the need at the strong safety position. What we were talking about earlier on in the show, though, was what is the offer going to consist of? What is the offer going to look like that the Raiders, quote unquote, have sent to Tyrann Mathieu? Now, if Tyrann Mathieu is demanding the same money that he earned last year, I'm not sure that I would want to bring him in, right? $13 million is a lot. And it's a lot because of the position that he plays. He plays safety. He does not play corner. He does not play edge. He does not play defensive tackle. He plays safety. So, with the offer that was reportedly made today by the Las Vegas Raiders to Tyrann Mathieu, I would love to bring in Tyrann Mathieu, but if the offer is quote unquote too low to what he's asking for, I wouldn't want to bring him in. I would much rather put that money towards a cornerback in Stefan Gilmore and a defensive tackle / nose tackle in Eddie Goldman. As far as Stefan Gilmore, Paul, the only update that we know is that right now Stefan Gilmore may be getting looks from the Kansas City Chiefs due to the fact that they traded Tyreek Hill and they have money to work with. But that's the only thing that we know so far. The only thing that we know so far. I heard though that Leatherwood has been working, looking jacked lately. So let's fucking go. We'll see. He's definitely been putting that work. Definitely has been putting that work. So we'll see. We'll see. Would that mean Abrams moving to linebacker? Well, if you go out and you acquire the Honey Badger, yes. You definitely say, Jonathan Abram, your time at safety is 100% done. So if you go out and acquire Tyrann Mathieu, there's no reason to have Jonathan Abram as a safety. Now you allow Jonathan Abram to completely convert to linebacker. You now allow Jonathan Abram to be that weak side linebacker where he only has to put on maybe 8 more pounds to where he can play that weak side linebacker role. But look, if you go out and you get Tyrann Mathieu, there's no reason to have Abram play strong safety at all. So, yes, I do think that if you bring in Mathieu, that is the end for Jonathan Abram at the safety position. Linebacker traded. I don't think that Jonathan Abram has a good trade value. Like, I think the most that you can get out of Jonathan Abram, and it sucks because he was a former first round pick, I think the most that you're getting from Abram is probably a 5th or 6th round pick. I don't see any team giving up a 4th round pick or a 3rd round pick for Jonathan Abram, especially if the circumstances of the reason why you're trading Abram is because you're trying to acquire Tyrann Mathieu. It shows that you're clearly trying to move on. So I don't think so. I don't think so. I feel like you're better off just letting him play in this last year of his rookie deal. But I mean, regardless, I just don't see um the need to trade Jonathan Abram, even if you do acquire Tyra Matthieu. Just let Abram play his last year of his deal at linebacker as a sub linebacker, where he's playing that hybrid safety, where he's playing that linebacker role when we are in our 4-2-5 defense or the nickel defense. So we'll see. Let's see. Abram in the box. Yes, Chris. That's what we should do. That's what we should do. Uh, that's funny. Shout out to RCS, man. Oh, I agree. I agree, RCS. Oh, that man's an idiot, man. That man's an idiot. He does not understand what he has, and he keeps benching all these players, man. Shout out to RCS, man. I agree. I agree. 110%, brother. 110%. What about Jacksonville? I think that everyone's at least worth at least a fourth in Jacksonville. No, no, definitely not. Definitely not. I don't think that Jacksonville. I mean, they got a Super Bowl winning head coach over there. They're not going to give up anything more than a fifth round pick for Abram. Abram just simply does not have the value of more than a fifth round pick. He doesn't. He doesn't. And personally, I think that for me, I think that it's closer to a sixth round pick. And like I said, it sucks because he was a former first round pick. He was picked at 27. So we'll see. We'll see. Um, but yeah, man, like it's pretty simple. It's pretty simple. Like if you go out and you try and acquire Honey Badger, it's clear as day that you're moving on from your former first round pick, Jonathan Abram. Now, it's interesting to see that I never thought that the Raiders were actually going to offer this man. So to see that the Raiders doing it, I really want to talk about it, right? And I really, it's a numbers game at that point. It's a numbers game. I'm still all for going out and getting Gilmore, but if you go out and you get the Honey Badger, you can't complain. You cannot complain at all. You cannot complain at all. Like there's no reason to complain. Andy, would you trade Waller if that means get back into the first round of the draft class? No. No. I'm not. I'm not doing that. And I hope that nobody else in here is doing that either. I hope that nobody else in here is doing that. I would not trade Darren Waller even if it meant that we would be back in the first round. No. There's no reason to. Like Darren Waller is on an extremely team-friendly deal. He's only getting paid $7 million. Um, he's expressed that he wants to be on this team. He's expressed that he wants to be utilized, and he wants this coaching staff to exhaust his services this year. So I mean, shit, I'm with it, man. I'm with it, man. I would not trade Darren Waller even if it meant getting back into the first round. I would not do that. I would not do that. SC experience and the Andy collab would be fire. Hey man, we can get that working. We can get that working, bro. I wouldn't be opposed to that at all. I love what SC got going on over there. I tell him that a lot. I tell him that a lot, man. I'm always showing love to his channel. Shout out to SC, man. Shout out to SC. Stop with the trade Waller. Yeah, I just don't see it happening. I don't want it to happen. Um, I just don't want it to happen, man. I don't. I really don't. I really do not want us to trade Waller. I just don't see why you would do it. I just don't see why. Which first rounder is worth Darren Waller? I don't see any. Exactly. Exactly. Well, which first rounder is worth Darren Waller? Um, that's arguable, you see. That's arguable, but that's a different conversation. Only came back for the playoffs. I mean, this is the thing. To him, his injury may have been worth more than a contract, right? Like he to him, right? You have to be looking at the position that Darren Waller was in. And I don't agree with what Darren Waller did. But what I'm trying to see, and I'm trying to look at it through Darren Waller's lens, right? If he goes out and he tries to rush a return to the team, he could potentially aggravate his injury to a point where it needs surgery, to a point where he's out for an even more extended period of time, to where he then misses more games, right? And with an injury, with a surgery, it then plays a big factor in contracts. It plays a huge factor in contracts. So with Darren Waller taking the time that he needed, he is now healthy. He did not go under any surgery, and he's fine. So I kind of want to look at it that way when I'm talking about Darren Waller. Do I agree with maybe taking another week when he didn't need to? Maybe not, because I definitely feel like we needed Darren Waller as much as possible. But at the end of the day, right, he's not getting paid that much. There is, I believe, over 12 tight ends that are making more money than Darren Waller. So that's just something to look at. That's something to look at, man. So we'll see. Marzell says nowadays having a good slot corner is almost as important as having a good outside corner. Keep that man where he excels at. Exactly, Marzell. I completely agree. Completely agree. And to your point, Marzell, he's a very underratedly good run defender. Extremely good run defender. He plays the run very well. He plays the run very well. I really like Nate Hobbs in the slot. In my opinion, there's no reason to trade him, or I mean, to change his position. There's no reason to move Nate Hobbs to the outside. There's no reason. Trust and believe. I break things when he's downfield one-on-one because he can't cover low, but he still makes an impact. I mean, look, man. I just think that Waller holds more value than just trying to get back into the first round, right? Because when you're talking about a first round draft pick, we've had five that we've missed on, right? So how fucking bad would we look, or how dumb would we look if we traded away Darren Waller for something that's unknown? On top of that, Darren Waller, if he got traded for a first round pick, you'd be paying that first round pick roughly the same amount of money as you'd pay Darren Waller. Because Darren Waller's only making $7 million. So you're paying a guy nearly the same thing who's never played in the NFL, who you don't even know if he'll transition to the league, right? Meanwhile, you have Darren Waller, who's top three at his position. Yes, his age may not be where everybody wants him to be, but he's proven. So why trade that? I would not do that. I would not trade that. And I think that's kind of the end of that. You know, as dumb as when we traded Mac. Exactly. Exactly, man. Freaking exactly. It just doesn't make sense, right? It just doesn't make sense at all to do that. Doesn't make sense at all to do that. Waller, 3 first round pick or fuck yourself. God damn. God damn. I mean, I could see I could see it, I guess. I'm saying if we was gonna trade Waller, we would have swapped for Adams. I think so. I think that Waller, like us being able to keep Waller and gain Adams is huge. But listen, you guys, this is gonna become something that we do every show. Every show now. We are going to end it off with a mock draft. We're going to end it off with a mock draft. We're doing this every show now. But this time, I'm not doing it like I did the other mock drafts where I'm picking. I'm going to let you guys pick, okay? I'm going to let you guys pick. So, I'm going to give you guys two options. You guys are going to flood the comments with the main two options that you guys want us to get, okay? So that's how we're going to do this mock draft right here. And I don't want to see some guy go from, "Oh, I want A or B," and I don't want to see a guy go to, "Oh, give me option C." It's not what we're doing. It's not what we're doing. Do polls, White Tyson, we're just going to have them spam the comments. We're just going to have them spam the comments. It'll be it should be a lot quicker that way. What the fuck? I don't know what happened, but guess what? It didn't select the Raiders, so we're restarting that joint. We're restarting that joint. Simple as that. Simple as that, man. Simple as that. I'm option X. Come on, man. Come on, man. Don't do that. Trading Mac was voted the best trade by any team in any sports by writers. Just shows how stupid the writers are, right? Just shows how stupid they are, right? Come on, man. Come on, man. But listen, while we're waiting for that, listen, we had over 400 of you guys tonight. We still have over 350 of you guys right now. So please, if you are new, man, hit that subscribe button. We have so much Raider content coming your way. But let's get straight into this, right? Let's get straight into this right here. Let's get straight into this. Now, I'm going to give you guys two options. I'm going to give you guys two options here. I'm going to give you guys two options. It's going to be, oh, this is tough, right? Because we got ourselves a linebacker, right? So I'm going to give you guys two options. You're going to go Kobe Bryant or oh shit, Verone McKinley's not even here. Wait, never mind. You know what? Just look at this right here and you tell me where you're going. I want to see the most. I want to see the most right here. I want to see this right here. Who do you guys want? Who do you guys want? Logan Hall is there. Nicholas, Justin Ross, Brian Asamoah, Kobe. Really? Kobe in the third round, huh? Jalen Armour Davis, James Cook, decent option. Decent option. Edge out of Mississippi, Brian Asamoah. Kobe Bryant, the Hall of Fame, Alec Lindstrom. He's a center though. You want a center? Carson Strong, I'm dead. I'm dead. This man said Carson Strong. Brian A. Oh shit. Come on. Come on. Let's do it right now. I need to see y'all in the chat. Where are we going? You know what? That's fucking interesting though. Asamoah. I'm seeing a lot of Asamoah. Holy shit. Holy shit. I think I didn't sold you guys on Asamoah so good. I'm loving it. So you know what? We're gonna go Asamoah. You get another linebacker. That's beautiful right there, man. That is beautiful right there. I'm loving it. Shout out to EC because EC absolutely dislikes Asamoah. And I'm loving this. I'm loving it. Please, Nick Cross, don't go off the board. Oh, wait. Oh, shit. I really want to take that. I really want to take that. I really want to take that. But Nick Cross is right here, guys. Nick Cross is right there. Nick Cross is right there. So do we trade back? Do we trade back or do we take Nick Cross in the fourth round? That is a absolute steal right there, man. Oh, baby. Nick Cross. I'm loving it. I'm loving it, man. I am loving it. Absolutely phenomenal pick. Absolutely phenomenal pick, man. Wow. And we get into our back-to-back picks. You're not gonna go. Oh, Jamari Slayer out of Georgia. Good offensive lineman. I definitely feel like with one of these picks, we need to go offensive line. We got two back-to-back picks. I wanna see what there is at offensive guard. You got Jamari Slater, Dylan Parham, in my opinion, won't be there in real life. You got Obina Eze, a guy that has gained a lot of traction due to his height and weight. Let's see. Obina Eze or Dylan Parham. I really, really like Dylan Parham. And in real life, I highly doubt that Dylan Parham would be here in the fifth round. Otito Ogbonia? What? Oh, Kellen Desich is there. Kellen Desich is there. Wait, Ogbonia? Where the hell did you see Ogbonia? So right here, Max Mitchell. Wait, what? Offensive tackle, Louisiana. Parham like your life depended on it. Kellen Disic. Okay, I'm gonna give you guys two options. You go Max Mitchell here or Dylan Parham. Max Mitchell, Dylan Parham. I don't see what you're seeing though. I don't see what you're seeing though, brother. EC. I don't see what you're seeing though. Mitchell. Oh, Tito's a defensive tackle. Oh, Parham. We got back-to-back picks. So we'll go Otito. We got back-to-back picks here. We got back-to-back picks. So we got to go Parham. We got to go Parham. Okay, I see everybody spamming Parham. Okay, well, that's pretty easy. Dylan Parham, he will, in my opinion, be able to start over. Boom. 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 Dylan Parham. I see EC saying Max Mitchell. Nah. My guy Q in the chat says go cornerback next. So we're going to see what cornerbacks are there. Ooh. I don't know. I don't like none of these boys. Neil Farrell went at 226. That's funny. That is funny. Julius Turner out of Rutgers isn't bad. Bo Melton. Bo Melton is not a bad pick. I understand that wide receiver is not a position of need. But Bo Melton had a phenomenal combine. Very, very interesting. Isaac Taylor Stewart, CBUSC. CBUSC. Huh. Do we got anything on? So he's 6'1", 201. That's actually a pretty good frame. So are we going corner? Running back? Okay, let's take a look at running back. No. The only one that I would look at right here would probably be Quay Holmes, but no. Bo Melton, Taylor Stewart, Velus Jones, Isaiah Watson. The fuck position does Isaiah Watson play? Oh, I think that we got a good double down on linebacker. Go Kanai. Go Kanai. Taylor Stewart is a sleeper. So we got 2 votes for the corner. We got 2 votes for the corner here. But Horvath is the best fullback in the draft. Take Velus Jones. I don't think Velus Jones is there. I don't think Velus Jones is here. Oh, shit. Velus Jones is there. Oh, fuck. Velus Jones is there, man. Isaiah. Okay, everybody's saying Isaiah. So right now, we're going to go. Where the fuck is Isaiah? I don't see Isaiah. CJ Verto, what the fuck? Isaiah is not there. Oh, he is. He's right here. All right, so we're going Isaiah out of Rutgers. Shout out to Rutgers. This is a damn good draft right here, you guys. If the Raiders finished off with this draft, 3 people said that. 3 people said that. Andy, this is your draft. This is not my draft. You guys went and got this. Brian Asamoah, I agree, 10 out of 10. Nick Cross, 10 out of 10. Otito, I got to do more film on him. Dylan Parham, 10 out of 10. I got to do more film on Mr. Man from Rutgers. But listen, you guys, I had a damn good time with you guys today. We had over 450 you guys at one point, so I really, really love and appreciate everybody who pulled up. I hope that everybody has a good weekend. Enjoys the night. Enjoys the night, and I always like to finish off the show saying this, I love and appreciate every one of you guys. I hope everybody has a blessed night. I hope everybody has a blessed night. Stay safe. Enjoys time with their family. I will see you guys tomorrow. I believe the 4 Horsemen show is back on tomorrow on this channel. So if you guys want to see the 4 Horsemen show, pull in. I'm pretty sure we got that going on tomorrow. And on your guys' way out, hit that subscribe button, hit that like button. I think the like button now does like a cool little animation now when you hit it. So that's dope. But like I said, man, love and appreciate every single one of you guys who tuned in today. I appreciate you guys. Take care. Good night. Stay safe. And I'm out. Peace.